A ball is thrown from the top of a building into the air. We know that the ball will go into the air and eventually fall to the ground. And no matter how many times the ball is thrown into the air, it will do the same thing. It will go to a maximum height and then fall to the ground. Scientists and mathematicians have learned how to measure different properties of the ball at different points in its flight. But what do those numbers mean? The numbers change constantly, but what do they mean is an important question. So at this point, the ball, being right here, has two measurements, 4 and 40, and it is important to know the meaning of those two numbers. When we can assign meaning to numbers, they become more than just numbers and they put it into a context. So the 4 tells us that at 4 seconds, the ball is at this location. Wherever this location is, the ball at 4 seconds is here. The 40 tells us the height of the ball at that time. And at different times, the ball will have a different height. But at this particular time, 4 seconds, the height of the ball is 40 meters. This allows us to answer many different questions about the ball. For example, we could ask, what is the starting height? Because the ball has different heights at different times, but we know the ball started on the top of the building, right here. And we know at the starting time of 0, the height of the ball was 40, meaning that is the starting height. We could also maybe want to know the height of the ball at exactly 3 seconds. And the ball would fly, and eventually it would reach 3 seconds, and our measurements would tell us that at 3 seconds, the ball has a height of 55 meters. What about a very common question, the maximum height, and when the ball reaches that maximum height? We can see a bunch of them, and one of them is the highest. In this case, the highest occurs at 2 seconds and is 60 meters, meaning the max height is 60 meters. The ball reaches its max height at 2 seconds. And finally, we may want to know, when does the ball hit the ground? It's not on the ground yet. And as we go over here, we can eventually see that around 5.5 seconds, you can't see the number, but around 5.5 seconds, just after 5, the ball will hit the ground. And these are all questions that are very important and questions that we're going to study in this activity. Now, as you may have noticed from this ball path, the ball path that goes over and over and over, this is a shape that we have been studying a lot. And in fact, when objects are thrown into the air, they always follow a parabola. So to add more details to this, we need to add an x-axis and a y-axis and answer more questions. This was just a brief introduction. You will get an opportunity to answer a similar question and then continue with the rest of the activity.